Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video just going to be a quick roundup of all the transfer rumours and stories, all the ins and outs, one or two deals that look like they may well have disappeared, one or two new deals that are coming onto the horizon, and also a strong story that one of Celtic's player signed under Ange Postecoglou may well have left the club with his contract terminated 1 year early. Before we crack on the video, just please a wee quick encouragement. If you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button. Keep the numbers pushing towards 800. If you like the video, please do click the like button. It does help the channel get spread to more and more Celtic fans and more football fans. And do feel free to pop your pleasant, polite, constructive, debating points, opinions, discussion points into the comment section. Lots of transfer stories and rumours all swirling around. Nothing so far definite regarding any players coming in or definitely leaving the club. The transfer battle among several clubs for Matt O'Riley is warming up. Brighton appear to be the current favourites and have committed to beating the Scottish transfer record, which would take it past the 25 million we got for Tierney and 25 million we got for Jota. And Brighton have said that they are willing to pay that much for Matt O'Riley, although there does not appear to have been an actual bid come in as yet for O'Riley. West Ham have also expressed a very strong interest and desire to bring O'Riley to West Ham. Southampton continue to be interested. They have made apparently a couple of bids way below the expected level, as was also the case for Atalanta. Both Southampton and Atalanta have said that they will come back in with another bid for O'Riley, but neither has done so. Chelsea, having lost Declan Gallagher to Atletico Madrid, have cash to spare, and apparently O'Riley is one of the players they are looking at bringing in to replace Gallagher. And Liverpool, who have been very quiet in the transfer market with no signings so far in the summer, they appear to be starting to look to bring in some players and release some players. And O'Riley is also said to be one of the players Liverpool are looking at to replace midfielders who are being transferred out. But at the moment, it does look like O'Riley is wanted by many clubs, but no club as yet has come in with a formal bid that meets Celtic's valuation. A couple of centre-backs being linked to Celtic. It would look like both are not going to be Celtic players. Dara O'Shea of Burnley seems very close to being signed by Brentford in the English Premier League. A fee of 8 to 9 million is thought to be the asking price for O'Shea, and Burnley and Brentford are deep in negotiations, and it would appear that Dara O'Shea will soon be a Brentford player. Scott McKenna, who of course is a free agent. There has been rumours that Celtic and Rangers and Hull and Copenhagen all have been looking to sign Scott McKenna. However, he now appears to be on the verge of signing for Las Palmas in Spain, and so it would appear to be yet another centre-back that has slipped through Celtic's fingers. Another player said to have been linked to Celtic, Michel-Ange Balikwisha, versatile attacking midfielder, wide player and central striker who plays for Royal Antwerp in Belgium, it was thought that Celtic and Antwerp were negotiating a potential deal. It would appear, unfortunately, Balikwisha has been injured and is going to be out for at least 2 months with a leg injury, and so the transfer negotiations appear to have completely stopped now. It may be Celtic look at signing Balikwisha in the winter window if there is an ongoing need in that position. Celtic continue to look for an additional striker or two to go with Kyogo. Tommy Conway of Bristol City is one that has been rumoured to have been linked to Celtic. Celtic have not made, as far as we know, an actual bid for Conway, and it now appears Middlesbrough in the English Championships are favourite to get Conway, and there is talk of a potential 5 million transfer fee, which would then take Conway away in the last year of his Bristol contract. Bojan Miovski of Aberdeen, another player said to be linked to Celtic. Southampton appear to be expressing a strong interest in him, as have a couple of clubs in Italy. There has been a bid of 3 to 4 million pounds, which Aberdeen rejected, and no club has come in to match the £7 million asking price Aberdeen have set for Miovski. And finally, Thorup, the Norwich manager, has said that Adam Idah will be part of his first team squad for the first league game of the season, and has in essence signalled a hands-off Celtic, hands-off everybody else. Idah is staying at Norwich message. There do remain stories behind the scenes that a bid of £7 or £8 million would change Norwich's mind and release Idah to come to Celtic. It does not appear at this point that Celtic are going back in with a £7 or £8 million bid, although it may be as the transfer window progresses that Norwich change their asking price or Celtic choose to take up the 7 to 8 million transfer price tag. A couple of young midfielders also being linked to Celtic. Hannibal Mejbri of Manchester United has been talking in the press that he's very, very keen to get first team football and does not seem to have any prospect of first team football at Manchester United, and is now going to be going into the last year of his contract at Manchester United. However, Manchester United don't want to loan him out, and they are looking for a straight transfer deal now that would appear to rule out our cross-city rivals Rangers, who have been only looking to loan players in and hope that they get more money sometime in the future. Asking price could be somewhere in the region of £6 to £7 million. Not clear at this point where Mejbri would fit into Celtic's team, in that McGregor, O'Reilly and Hatate would all be first choice. However, it may be that Mejbri is one of a couple of players being kept as a backup option if Matt O'Reilly's transfer away from Celtic does go through in the next 3 weeks. And finally, another young midfielder, 19-year-old Argentinian international called Facundo Buonanotte. He plays for Brighton. He's played 50 games for Brighton so far, 5 goals, 2 assists, and 2 Argentinian caps. It was thought that Buonanotte was going to be going for a season-long loan at Feyenoord, but they have now pulled out of that, and Brighton are said to be looking to loan out Buonanotte for a season to get him more regular first team experience and experience potentially at a higher level. Southampton and Celtic are said to be the two teams leading the chase to bring Buonanotte in on a season-long loan, and it may be that the option of Champions League football might be a factor that encourages Buonanotte to come to Celtic. Buonanotte, primarily an attacking midfielder, he can play out wide, and he also potentially could play as a second striker type role as well. Celtic and St Mirren appear to be in negotiations over UK Kobayashi, most likely going to be a season-long loan. It did work well for Kwon in the second half of last season, and Celtic do seem keen to get Kobayashi away from the club, getting first-team experience, and then reassessing the situation again next summer, as he does remain under contract with Celtic till 2028. Celtic have said categorically that Stephen Welsh is not leaving the club, which would appear to mean that currently Brendan Rodgers sees Stephen Welsh as Celtic's number 3 centre-back, with Liam Scales as number 2 and Carter Vickers as number 1, and that Nawrocki and Lagerbielke are 4 and 5, Kobayashi at 6, as it is said that Rodgers is happy to hear loan and transfer bids for Nawrocki and Lagerbielke, but has completely ruled out the possibility of Stephen Welsh leaving. I find this a wee bit surprising, given that not a lot of us have a lot of respect or admiration for Stephen Welsh's ability as a central defender or as a football player who can keep himself fit and injury-free for more than a few games at a time. However, Rodgers has installed him, it would appear, as number 3 centre-back at Celtic as things stand currently. No formal bids or further offers have come in for Lagerbielke or Nawrocki, although there is said to be ongoing interest from several Serie A clubs for Lagerbielke, but no bid as yet. And finally, as I said at the start of the video, it would appear that James McCarthy signed in the Ange Postecoglou first season. He did play quite a number of games in that first season, however hasn't played for Celtic in the first team since October 2022, had a couple of B-team games last season, but has been primarily watching Celtic games from the safety of his own sofa, has not been involved in any football at the first team level for Celtic for nearly 2 years, and there were stories that McCarthy was going to be going away on loan last season. That all fell through. There have been talks that Celtic and McCarthy's agent have been negotiating a termination of his contract, and McCarthy now has disappeared off all Celtic official lists. He's disappeared off Celtic's website as a player. He no longer appears to be a Celtic player, although there's not been a formal announcement that he has left the club, either officially or unofficially. However, it does look like James McCarthy is no longer a Celtic player. So that just about brings us to the end of all the bits and bobs of Celtic news, and so a wee bit of a frustrating start to the week. As always, we'll try to keep you up to date as best I can with any news and with particularly any concrete deals in or out of the club. Later in the week, we will be doing a wee bit of a preview of the Hibs game at the weekend. And so just a wee quick reminder as we finish things off to consider clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already, clicking the like button if you like the video, and popping your comments into the comment section regarding this video or any other burning Celtic issues. And so for today, goodbye and hail, hail.